Hello everybody, my name is Sifrin. Welcome to part 3 of Astra's demo. Where we left off, things were starting to hit the fan. If you're sensitive to the things in the thumbnail, please don't watch this if it's gonna make you upset. I have a new hat. Issa made it for me. It's very cute. Although every time I blink, my model shrinks or something. I don't know. I'll have to touch it up later. But cute cat cap. Let's go. Let's do this. Ah, yeah, we were gonna approach the monster or clear your mind. Well, a commenter said they couldn't decide, so let's approach the monster and see what happens. The beast is Artemis, and his heart is full of sorrow. In this sorrow, he's turned into the embodiment of rage. Maybe you can quell his anger with a hug. Shaking, unsure of each step you take, in this black abyss, you approach the beast. I said to screw off, the beast roars, swiping at your legs. Your legs detach just like your arm did, once again crumbling into nothingness. The snowflakes you held come back into mind, how they melted into your palm. Damn it, you need a stronger body. Artemis, you call out, but it falls on deaf ears. You try again. Artemis! If only Lady Greenfire created you out of steel or something, anything other than your useless clay body. Artemis! You shout with all your might. But it does nothing. The beast advances on you, and lightly puts a gigantic foot on what remains of your puny body. Pressure, and more pressure. You're choking. You try to think as fast as you can, but nothing happens. Your vision is fading. With your deteriorating voice, you call out to Artemis. You call out to Artemis once more. All that comes out is a pitiful squeak, and you dissolve into melting stars. No! You wish you could shout. No! This can't be how it ends! But sadly, the tale of Astra ends here. We get an achievement, hooray. Ending one out of question mark, out of control. If only you could feel that soft blanket on your bed again. Are we gonna loop? Yep, we're looping. Hooray. Probably wasn't the author's intention. Well, I'm not reading all this again. Okay, approaching the monster completely fucked us over, so we're gonna clear our minds. Water sippy. You take off running in the opposite direction. Sure enough, the beast charges after you. You know he's too pissed to listen to reason. As you run into the abyss, you try to think. The beast is far larger than you are, and you're easily 6 feet. The beast is at least twice your size. You don't know what powers you have, but you were built with a strong body, weren't you? How strong can this clay vessel be? Summoning your might, you slam your fists into the black ground. A giant crack emerges from the force, as well as a few select pillars of what you assume to be earth. You pant. Is this your power? Artemis crushes through these earthen pillars with ease, but it did slow him down some. This time you focus your energy into your legs and stomp into the earth. The crack is wide enough that Artemis trips and plummets. As Artemis plummets, he shrinks, claws sinking to save himself. He doesn't gain any of his color, nor does the scribbled box fade from his eyes. Something else must be blinding him. Artemis tries to climb up, but every scratch only widens the crevasse. Fine, I admit it, I need help. Help me before I sink further. Another tough choice stands before you. You can try to help him again, but the scratches on your remaining hand still sting. You haven't begun clotting yet. What does Artemis mean by sink further? How far can you go before you hit the absolute bottom? Is there a bottom? This is just a dream, right? What do your choices matter here? Artemis is still scrambling to get up. He's panting and panicking, trying to save himself. Astra, help me! You could help him, but is he sorry for what he did to you? The anger you were shown seems poisonous. What if he does this again, or worse, lashes out in the waking world? But your wounds aren't as severe as the pain he's going through. If you can bleed, you can clot, right? Artemis's pain weaponized into that of a fearsome beast. It's gone for now, but it'll surely appear again. Thinking like this is wasting time. You want to have a nice dream like you did when you were cooking. You approach Artemis, heart pounding with anxiety. Kick Artemis, or help him. He's kind of a dick. I'm gonna kick him. You don't want to face the beast again, either here or in the waking world. You grit your teeth and kick Artemis in the face. It serves him right. All you wanted to do was help him while he nearly killed you. The impact echoes, and Artemis wordlessly accepts his fate. But something in the pit of your stomach sinks. It makes your blood run cold. This is just a dream, right? He'll be fine. You awaken, drenched with cold sweat. The sun shines harshly through your window, making you uncomfortably warm. That must have been a nightmare you experienced. But it wasn't reality. Artemis? You hear Lady Greenfire in another room, followed by the sound of the bed slightly squeaking. That's disgusting. Why is that in this game? I thought it was for PG. I thought it was for all ages. Artemis, hey. Squeaking turns into harsher squawking. Just what is she doing in there? Getting out of bed, you head to Artemis's room to see for yourself. Only to see that Oh my god. Only to see that Lady Greenfire is performing chest compressions on Artemis's unmoving form. Okay, that's a relief. His eyes don't open. He doesn't groan. Astra, I don't want you to see this. She finally notices you standing there like a lost duck. Go downstairs and get something to eat. What happened? You ask, wringing your hands nervously. I don't know. He's not breathing. Go downstairs. But you don't move. Your nightmare is still fresh in your mind. Were you responsible for this? Ignoring Lady Greenfire's order, you get closer to Artemis on the bed. His eyes are like glass. I guess Astra picked up an eyelid. Unmoving like he is, not even blinking. Hey, you say, lightly touching his shoulder to rouse him from his rest. Hey! He feels like ice. This in turn makes you feel ice all over. Stumbling over backwards, you can't get any words out. You wish you could tell Lady Greenfire of your nightmare, but nothing comes out. I'm getting the defibrillator, she says, rushing out of the room. You just stand there, over the body of your friend. Wake up, you say to yourself. This is clearly another nightmare, isn't it? Wake up. Ending 2 out of question mark. Bad dream. Maybe if you run to your bed fast enough, you can wake up for real this time. Hooray, we're finding achievements. Great job, Arthur. Author. Whatever. Not reading this again. Hello, creature, are you going to kill me again? Or get killed again? I don't know. Kick Artemis or help him. We're gonna help him. Hopefully it doesn't bite us in the ass. It's hard to pull someone up with just one arm, but somehow that's what you do. The area lightens up, changing from pure black into a dark gray. The crevasse closes up once Artemis regains his footing, but he doesn't let go of you. Those deep blue eyes and wrinkled chin make you want to hold on for longer. I'm sorry, Artemis chokes out. I didn't mean to hurt you. It's okay, you say, but you're still missing an arm. What was that? That giant beast you turned into? Artemis sighs, wiping his face. It's me. It's what I want to do deep down. I feel like this world is so corrupt that saving it is just a huge waste of time. It feels impossible to do. But we don't know that, you try to reason with him. We don't know if we can or can't if we don't try. Thunder rumbles and chilling rain runs down in big fat drops. I try to be strong for myself and everyone, but I'm terrified. This is getting kinda close to home. I don't know this world like you do, Artemis, you say, still holding on to him like he is to you. You want to cheer him up, distract him from his troubles for just a little bit. Chairs manifest in the dreamscape, and the two of you sit down. You both begin shuddering, wishing a blanket had manifested as well. Staring at the bleak gray sky and this rain falling all around, your heart feels heavy, knowing now the pain Artemis carries within him. So what activities do you like to do in the rain? Read. Ah ha 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 ha. Artemis wipes his face again. Though when I was younger, I'd like to jump into the rain puddles and make as big of a splash as I can. Then my Gram would yell at me to get inside, otherwise I'd catch a cold. Gram, you ask, unfamiliar with that term. My grandmother. She's the one who mostly raised me. Ah, you nod, gaze returning to the sky, then back down where some puddles began forming. You and Artemis stand in silence for a few minutes, broken by, I'm sorry you had to see me like this, when you haven't been alive for long. You shrug it off. I was bound to find out eventually. I'm just glad I got you back to normal. Artemis laughs softly. I'm sorry if it happens again, you seeing that monster. It's okay. I guess if I do, I'll find more of my powers. Ha 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 ha. You don't have to go that far. Just slap me across the face and tell me to snap out of it. Slap? How could you even think to slap the face of somebody already in so much pain? Why would I do that, you ask? It'd be quicker, and I'd be able to focus on the now, Artemis says, shrugging. But that's painful. You get numb to it after a while. You furrow your brow. Numb. Artemis's rage earlier hardly seemed numb. My God. It was more so consistent of bottled up emotions. I don't think so, you speak up. That monster seemed to be thriving off of your bottled up anger. More silence. More rainfall. Then, I guess you're right. I hope I don't hurt you again like I did earlier. Hey, so, about my arm. This is just a dream, so think about your arm regenerating. With curiosity, you imagine your arm is back and your wounds are gone, and just like magic, your wishes are granted. You flex your arm, pleased that the sensations are back. I'm glad I won't wake up and find my arm missing, you laugh. Me too. Though the weather is cold, damp, and soaks the two of you to the bone, you find that you and Artemis have grown closer thanks to the heart-to-heart chat. I'm glad this dream turned nice. Are you having the same dream I am? Artemis nods. This doesn't usually happen between people, but somehow we're dreamwalking together. I don't know if you're in my dream or if I'm in yours, though. There's that twinkle again, in his eyes. You find yourself staring, but you can't look away. Such a lively blue they are. Do you share the same hue with them? Artemis slightly leans away. What's that look for? Snapping out of it, you apologize profusely. I'm sorry. I just thought about how pretty it was when your eyes were twinkling just now. Is that weird? My eyes twinkle? He asks. You were talking about dreamwalking, and there it was. I saw it earlier, too, when we were hanging out before I went to bed. This makes Artemis blush. I never noticed it, he admits. I guess I do kinda light up when I talk about subjects I know about. Will you remember this when we wake up? You ask. Artemis nods, patting you on the back. Thanks for getting me out of that funk. What are friends for? That was it. That's the whole thing. Needs work. Birds singing rouse you from your sleep. The sun is from behind the clouds, gentle light penetrating your room. It feels so warm on your face like you're being lightly petted, but you're too excited to stay in bed any longer. You get out of bed, use the facilities, wash your hands, face, but your hair is so messy. What tool is used to manage this part of your body? Shrugging, you leave the bathroom and head downstairs. Everybody is happy to see you, and you smell pancakes. Finally, you get to have a meal with everybody in the family. Hello, everyone, you say. That meal smells yummy. Can I have some? Of course you can, dear. Lady Grandfire gladly seats you at the table with everyone and gives you a large stack of pancakes with plenty of butter and syrup. Once again, everyone's eager to watch you eat. You don't like this, so you say, please don't watch me eat. Oh, sorry, dear. Everyone, let's let Astra eat without us watching them. The pancakes are so pleasantly fluffy and sweet, accompanied by the butter and syrup. They feel good to chew, and when you swallow, you go in for another bite. Then a third, fourth, fifth, up until your plate is cleaned. You're so focused on eating that you didn't pay any attention to the current conversation. Droopy, stop pecking at my shoes, Nick says, shooing the white service rooster away from his feet. That's not food. Here. Nick acquires some salad mix from the fridge and shakes it up a bit, which makes the rooster cluck in anticipation. Into a food bowl, Nick puts a handful of salad in, and Droopy goes nuts for it. Peggy Kitty, Artemis, and Lady Greenfire laugh at the rooster eating so goofy. So Droopy is a service animal, you ask. What does a service animal do? Sippy time. It depends on the species of animal, really, Nick says. For example, Droopy pecks at me to get my attention in the middle of a flare-up so I can get properly medicated, or have Artemis get me a heating pad. Droopy can also get in front of me, providing a barrier between me and another person. He can also tell people to give me space by fluffing himself up and giving them the stink eye. But when the vest comes off, he's a needy papa's boy who needs all of my attention. Droopy sounds very well trained. How about after we finish eating, I show you what I do when I take care of Nicholas? Artemis asks. I'm his part-time caretaker, aka live-in nurse, to help him with stuff he can't do by himself. You nod, but something strikes you odd. Aren't wolves powerful creatures? Why is Nick so frail? Nicholas, you say, I have a question if that's okay. Shoot. How come you're, frail? Nick sighs, looking out the window. I'm chronically ill. I was born with a few issues that still exist to this day. I have arthritis, and doctors have yet to confirm if I have fibromyalgia, a complicated condition that causes pain or flare-ups all over my body. I have a mix of other issues, so having Artemis around to specifically help me with certain tasks helps me out a lot. You frown, furrowing your brow. You can be born with complicated issues or develop them later in life? You can definitely do that. I'm full of issues. What tasks does Artemis help you with? Nick smiles, happy he received his simple question. When I get flare-ups, it's hard to focus or do what I need to do, so Artemis is always on standby to get me painkillers or heating pads. Sometimes I lose track of what I was doing, so Artemis helps me remember to get me back on track. If I fall and can't get up because I've landed on a tender spot, Artemis helps me back up. I also get fatigued very frequently, so I need to take my time when I go anywhere. This is why I carry a walking stick with me. That all sounds awful. I'm sorry you have to deal with that, you say, unsure of what else can be said. You get used to it. It doesn't get any easier, nor do you get stronger because of it. You just learn to recognize patterns before they happen so you can take care of them. Nicholas puts an arm on Artemis. It took me a long time to accept that I needed help, that I can't do everything by myself. So I'm glad to have Artemis around. Artemis laughs nervously. Oh, please, I'm just doing my job. You wonder if you have a job. You were created to befriend others and fight in the name of justice. Is being a superhero a job? Guess what? Sippy time. Okay. How can I help, you ask? For the rest of the day, you and Artemis assist Nick with things he needs help with, such as laundry, sorting out his medicine, and organizing his papers. He's Peggy Katie's teacher, after all. Artemis walks you through everything thoroughly, happy to explain things if they don't make sense. In the afternoon, your lunch is a couple of ham and cheese sandwiches, accompanied by a can of soda. It's fizzy and very, very sweet with strong notes of vanilla. It tastes addicting and it gives you a boost of energy for other tasks. Looking out the window while you eat, you see that it stopped snowing, for now. You look back at Artemis, who's nose deep in another book. Sledding? You ask, gesturing to the outdoors. Oh shoot, that's right, Artemis giddily gets up from his seat. I knew I was forgetting something. Of course we can go sledding. When lunchtime is over, Artemis gets some winter gear on you. It's thick, bulky, a bit difficult to move around in, but maybe you'll adjust to it. After Artemis gets himself dressed up in similar garb, he takes you outside in the thick, thick snow. All you see is white and gray, with the surrounding trees covered as well. Poor Artemis is up to his waist in the snow. Do you want help up, you ask. No, I'm good. I'm used to this weather. Artemis trudges through the snow, short as he is, and gestures for you to follow him. His flame-red hair contrasts brilliantly against the whiteness, like he's a candle in the darkness. What a lovely hair color he has. He leads you to a clearing in the woods and up a steep hill. So for sledding, we need a sled, which comes in all sorts of sizes, but they're usually flat and wooden. Then we get in it and slide all the way down. It's a lot of fun, promise. Stay here, I'll get the sled for us. Artemis leaves you on your own for a little while, but you're patient. You admire how untarnished the snowy surroundings are, just like a canvas waiting for paint on it. You suppose the sledding venture will be the first stroke on the canvas. What image will be formed from the strokes like those? Why is this word highlighted and not the last one? That's weird, author. You look at your misty breath in the air and puff some breaths out just to see your breath hang and slowly dissipate. Soon enough, Artemis slowly returns with a wooden sled. You see him struggling with it, so you go down to help him push it up on top of the hill. It takes some effort, but thanks to Lady Greenfur giving you a strong body, you don't run into any issues. Poor Artemis is panting. I'll be fine, he says. Just give me a minute. It's a long trip with this heavy thing. I could have used my wind powers to push this thing, but I didn't want to send snow flying everywhere. You have wind powers, you ask. Can you turn into a giant monster too? Artemis shakes his head. That was only a dream. You can do all kinds of things in your dreams, including actions that make no sense. Dreams are weird like that. This makes you think, looking down at your legs. You wonder if your power was just a dream or if it truly exists in the waking world. You guess you'll have to see some other time. Artemis eventually regains his breath. Do you want me to push you first? Oh, I was thinking we could go down together, you say. We can do that. Here, sit down and I'll be in front. The two of you get situated on the sled. You get in the back with Artemis in front of you. Hold on tight, we're gonna go pretty fast, he says, so you hold on to him as he uses his feet to get the sled over the edge. Scoot by scoot, your heart is racing in anticipation. You put your arms around Artemis for security. Oh my god. Guinea pigs, can you be quiet? I'm doing stuff. If my guinea pig whining picked up on the mic, I am sorry. Yes, we have guinea pigs and they are spoiled brats. I'll feed them in a little bit. Where was I? Hold on tight, we're gonna go pretty fast, he says. So you hold on to him as he uses his feet to get the sled over the edge. Scoot by scoot, your heart is racing in anticipation. You put your arms around Artemis for security, and then you plummet in incredible speed, dashing through the mounds of snow. A shout rises from your throat and out your mouth, while Artemis laughs, whooping and hollering. The fallen snow whooshes past you, thankfully without getting in either of your faces. What a steep slope! You're still going, too, with no signs of stopping or slowing down. You're holding on to Artemis tightly, while the both of you shout in excitement. Could you do this every day? What other ways of fun does Artemis enjoy? The sled stops, but your hearts are still pounding. How long will it take to shove the sled all the way back up? I want to go again, you shout. Artemis laughs. So do I. Let's shove this back up and go again. The evening is spent sledding. Eventually you both go down a larger hill, and then a hill larger than that. Excuse me. The rush is addicting, and thankfully Artemis doesn't mind being squeezed. Going down in the sled feels great, but having Artemis in your arms, something stirs deep inside of you. But how? You've only been alive for 24 hours. Isn't this too soon? You feel warm all over, like you could do anything. Maybe move a mountain or punch a bear. It's just adrenaline, you tell yourself. Yeah, I told myself that for the longest time. But damn, it feels good. You want more of it, like you want more of that soda you had earlier. You can let go now, Astra, Artemis says, making you refocus. Sorry, I was lost in the adrenaline rush, you reply, blushing a bit. Ha 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 ha. It's okay. I'm glad you're having fun with me. What a shame, it's already getting dark. You'll have to make the long trek home, but an idea strikes when you eye the sled. Hey Artemis, you say, get on. Artemis gets on the sled confused, but then you start pushing him on the road back home. The sled itself doesn't weigh much, so you're able to put some speed into it. Ha 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 ha. Artemis raises his arms into the air. Woo-hoo! You laugh too, all the way back home to the cabin in the woods. You've lost track of time. By the time you return and put the sled back, it's dusk. Why does the sun have to set so soon? At least you'll get to see the moon again when you go to bed. Finally, you notice how sore your body feels. You did a lot of exercise just now. You're panting, coughing, but you're led inside where there's a big warm fire waiting for you. Sitting by the fireplace, you receive a cup of hot chocolate. It warms you back up. The taste is so sweet and creamy with the addition of milk. You and Artemis finally get out of the heavy winter gear, putting it all somewhere it can be found for the next time. Then Artemis sits next to you, shivering. Putting an arm around him, you pull him closer. He warms his chilled hands up by the fire. Sledding was a lot of fun, you say. I forgot how cold it was, though. Not just for me, but for you, too. Artemis laughs softly. It's all right. I had a blast, too. Hey, your heart is racing. Are you okay? Blushing more intensely, you look and move away from Artemis. Sorry, you say. I don't know. I don't know about this world we live in, but you've opened up my own world, Artemis. Sippy time. Check the timer. Okay. Now it's Artemis's turn to blush. His whole face turns red like his hair. Come now, you've been alive for just about a full day. There are many more days to come, too. And I want to spend them all with you, you say, still looking away. Is that weird? Well, no, but... Silence and more silence. You peek at Artemis's face. His brow is furrowed. His eyes are sternly looking outward. His hand is curled underneath his chin. In my first 24 hours of life, you've shown me nothing short of miracles. Miracles in books, miracles in everyday activities, miracles in the weather. I want to discover as much as I can. And you will, Artemis states, still red in the face. I'm sure of it. But as there are days where there are miracles to behold, there are twice as many days where nothing happens. Even if there are boring days ahead, you think carefully, I think I'd be fine with that as long as... Trailing off, you realize you've hit a dead end. You try to form a cohesive sentence, but nothing's coming out. Taking the last sip of hot chocolate, you try to get yourself together. Look, I don't know the name of this feeling. I don't know what it constitutes as. Maybe I'm overthinking everything. But if there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that I want to be with you. I want to be your friend, someone you can depend on. Artemis laughs. We're already friends, dummy. Dummy, is that really the right word you want to choose for somebody that was literally made 24 hours ago? If we're already friends, then let's be best friends. The warm flames reflect on Artemis's face, even his glasses. There's a flame in your heart, too. placing your hand on top of Artemis as you say, maybe we could be more. Artemis doesn't yank his hand away. Instead, he looks into your eyes. This is awful fast to have developed feelings for each other. You feel it too, the same burning, you ask in disbelief. Is that the right word? Well, yes, I'm very excited to have you in my life. There's a lot I want to talk about with you. Why talk to me when there's others? I don't really have friends outside of here, Artemis admits. I usually keep to myself. But having someone else to talk to and teach new things to, it's very exciting. I like listening to you. You're still holding hands. You don't want to let go. Maybe this is too fast. How does love usually happen? What even is it? You've enjoyed eating so far. Eating feels nice. Talking and learning about the world around you also feels good. But being around Artemis. Curl your fingers inwards. Artemis does the same. Maybe this is too fast, but I feel really good when I'm with you, Artemis. Artemis lets out a nervous chuckle. We've been through a lot together so far. We're gonna go through a lot more. Maybe even the ugly parts, too. I want to know everything about you, Artemis, even the ugly or unpleasant things. Artemis nods. I'd like that. Artemis scoots back up to you. You put your arms back around him, and the two of you just stare at the fire in the fireplace together. I'm originally made out of clay, but now I have skin, muscles, nerve endings, organs, even emotions. You're a work of art, Astra, a real masterpiece. The heat increases on your face. Your heart beats even harder. Masterpiece. I mean, it's taken about 10 years for us to meet you, and we're so glad you're here now. You're going to help us with so much. Artemis leans up against you, looking up. I feel like I was put on this world for one more thing. You say, though nervous, maybe I was also made to love you. Artemis stifles a snort. There's love in everything, he states with soft laughter. From watching plants grow to reading a book to enjoying a hearty meal, love surrounds us, always. I want to learn about the love people share when they're fond of each other, you say. Maybe then I could express myself better. You have all the time in the world, Astra. Don't rush it. Don't be afraid to talk to others, too. Are you okay with this, Artemis, loving something like me? There are many concerns I have about you, but you're not something. You're someone. Someone we've all been praying for. Someone who can help us change this world for the better. It's an intimidating task. It's going to be okay, Astra. We've all got your back. Maybe we are developing a connection here, Artemis admits, but it's awful fast. How many times is that going to be mentioned? I know there will be days where we don't do anything, but I'm looking forward to those too. We can read together or talk about books we've read, discuss theories and the like. Artemis might like hanging out with Odile or Mirabelle, I think. Reading has opened up my world too, you say. I can't believe there's so many books out there. There's many more in the library. I live just above it. It's an odd living arrangement, but it's close to my mother and Gram. Don't you live in the cabin? The cabin that we're currently in? What? A chilling silence. When the day comes, you think very hard on what to say. I hope we're able to get your mother off of that drug and keep Dr. Memphis and his goons away from her. Tears prick in the corners of his eyes. I'd like that, Artemis states, wiping his eyes. Sorry, I get touchy when my mom is talked about. I think anybody would in your situation. I feel empty without a mother figure, but Lady Greenfire works hard to fill that placement for me. Haha, Mom zoned. You nod in agreement. You haven't spent much time with her after being created and introduced to everybody, but you know she works hard to care for everybody in the cabin. Sometimes it's easier to push people away from you when all they want to do is help however they can. I'm guilty of that, he says. More silence, but less chilling this time. Whoops. Holding Artemis close to you, you feel full. All may not be right in the world, but at least you have someone close to you. You're nervous to see what others' days may bring, but if Artemis is by your side, how bad can they be? Even though I came from nothing. I'm sorry I said that, Artemis cuts you off. In our shared dream, I wasn't thinking. I was just angry at the world. Then, even though I came from some materials on the earth, I feel blessed to be here and be among all of you. It'd be an honor to fight alongside all of you, too. When the weather clears up and the snow is mostly gone, I'll try training you in combat, Artemis offers. I wonder how you'll do with a sword. But that's not going to be for a few weeks. Snow takes a while to melt, after all. In the meantime, why don't I teach you about the planet we're on and magic? You grin from ear to ear. I'd like that. Dinner tonight is pulled pork sandwiches with a vegan option, of course. Curious, you try both sandwiches. The pork is hearty and flavorful, while the vegan option feels like you're eating a salad in sandwich form. It's colorful, with a nice crunch and delicate flavors. The addition of mayonnaise gives you a moist sandwich flavor. You think you like the pork sandwich more, but you give your thanks to Lady Greenfire for making the food for you. After dinner, you head up to Artemis's room with him to do some more reading. You get situated on the same cushion as before and dive back into some more books. A couple hours pass. It's late at night when you notice how tired you feel. Why don't you bunk with me for the night? Oh. You look out Artemis's window, frowning that the moon is hidden by the clouds. You can't see any of the stars either. Where's the moon? Don't worry, the moon will come back. Just like how we get back up after hard times. That's something Gram taught me. You guess it makes sense. Artemis fixes his bed up. It gives him a lot of sleeping room, but this time the two of you will be sleeping together. He spreads out the pillows to accommodate you. You get into the bed with him and get under the sheets. The smell is so comforting, like you're being hugged. Artemis follows suit after removing his glasses, with his fluffy tail between his legs so he can hold on to it. Are you in pajamas, or are you just going to sleep in your daywear, dude? Good night, Astra, he says, adjusting the blanket. Good night, Artemis, you say back. The blanket is lovely. Gram made it for me on a special day. I'll tell you that story tomorrow. You smile at him and scoot closer. I hope we have a nice dream this time. Me too, Artemis yawns. You're so excited for the days to come. What will happen tomorrow? What will you learn tomorrow? What other powers will you discover? Eventually, the serene quietness makes you drift off to sleep. Ending 3 out of 6. Sweet dreams. What would have happened if you chose Lady Greenfire to hang out with? So that's Artemis's route in Astra's demo. Lady Greenfire's routes are again incomplete, but I've been told that there is some writing for her. So if you're interested in what all there is in Astra's demo, please leave a like and drop a comment below. And I will see you next time. See you later.